Hello, welcome to my channel, AH for Truth. I just wanted to share something here that just watching the new administration in the US with Donald Trump back in office. I remember when the Lord showed it to me in 2022 that he would return. In 2020, I also, September 2020, I had a dream before the election where I saw Donald Trump, suspended in the air after the election. I didn't see his legs. Before the election, I didn't see his legs, and I was wondering, did he die? What? But I looked at his face, and he looked younger. I saw his face, and he looked like 10 years younger, and he was looking far into the future. And I said, Lord, what is this? I didn't get the full understanding until later on when he lost the election in 2020, and then I had another dream where the Lord revealed to me that he would be back in office. Now, there's so many people who saw that he would be back in office, and now he's back in office. I must say this now, whether you like Trump or you do not like him, it's irrelevant at this point because he's back in office and he's doing what I believe destiny has called him to do. Some people would debate whether he's righteous, what he said about women and all of that stuff. When you really look at the administration, there are women there, there's minorities there. I mean, Tulsi is from Hawaii, there's Kash Patel is Indian, and so some of the arguments on the left don't really make sense. But I just wanted to go on and talk about, I'm going to talk about crypto, I'm going to talk about the link to crypto, XRP and all these things, because everything seems to tie together so perfectly, and there is a lesson to learn there. Now let's look at something here with respect to here's this story here on X. Colin Rugg is sharing this, and he's got quite the following on X. And let's just listen to this video here. This is Letitia James, who, do you remember when this woman was looking to collect a 450 million judgment? Like, business people, I remember Kevin O'Leary screaming and like, what is going on? People are going to run away from New York. The left was cheering her on. Like, New York even changed the laws. They changed statutes of limitation just to get at Trump. To be honest, if you didn't believe that there was anything, like even the attempt at his life twice, beside others that we didn't get into the news cycle, and the media just ignored it like it didn't really happen. And then, well, let's hear her, what she's saying today.
Payments to the state of New York and to states all across this nation. It is unacceptable, unconstitutional, ultra-vires. They have exceeded their authority. And so it's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up and enforce the rule of law. Because Elon Musk, individuals at the Treasury, and the President of these United States is not above the law.
What does that mean?
And we will continue. As attorneys general, we've been preparing for this. This is not the outcome that we wanted, Vince.
So what I don't get is, so if somebody, let's also look at this. So she's talking about Elon Musk being above the law, right? So here is something with Elon Musk, his DOGE team, Department of Government Efficiency. They're actually now at the IRS. Look at the story here. It says Senator Ron Wyden, the Democrat, said Thursday that Department of Government Efficiency staffers are now examining the Internal Revenue Service, warning against access to U.S. taxpayer data. Can you imagine? Like, this is, now watch this. Democrats have sounded the alarm over DOGE and its leader, Elon Musk, attempting to overhaul the U.S. Agency for International Development and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and to gain access into the Treasury Department's payment systems. And he said this, look at it, and quote, if your refund is delayed, they could very well be the reason. This is such a lame argument. It's as lame as anything you can ever imagine. Many Americans are really excited to be seeing all of the mess, all of the abuse abuse of taxpayer funds has been going on. I mean, many on the left are still like, oh no, the hatred for Donald Trump, the hatred for Elon Musk, who used to be on the left, who used to be a Democrat. I mean, Trump used to be a Democrat years back. Like, it's so interesting to see. Now, let me tie this thing into all I've been saying. You see, there's a story in the Bible, a man called Haman. He wanted to kill all the Jews. He did everything possible, but then the law turned against him. And eventually, I mean, some people just living their lives, captives away from their own land of birth, have been living for many generations just because they didn't bow down to worship you or to humble themselves before you in a dehumanizing way. You wanted to kill them. Well, the Bible tells us in the book of Esther that Haman eventually had what he was planning for others happened to him. In fact, it was his own wife who told him, if this woman, Esther, is of the Jews, you will go down just as you will continue to go down as you have started. You will continue to go down. Let me put it that way. And then there's another story. I look at what the Democrats are doing and how they are not just Democrats. They are Republicans. Remember there is something called the Uni Party in America. If you didn't know it, know that today, where the two parties fuse into one and they support one another's agenda. In my own opinion, what I see is the Democrats love power and the Republicans love money. Generally speaking, okay. In my opinion, Trump had to come in as how would I say, he had to ride one of both parties, because you can't be an independent and win. So he chose to ride the Republican Party to power. And I'm telling you, even the Republican Party itself, what you call the GOP is gone. The Democrat, as it were, is gone. We'll see a new rise of maybe multi-party politics in America, maybe some kind of different. The landscape will completely change. Now, one more thing I wanted to say. So if you look at all that has happened to Trump, and then you come and look at what happened in the crypto space, like, it's funny, what is the link? Well, everything is linked. If you look at what has happened, there was a situation where, where the situation where XRP was, they were, would I say, charged to court, and for so many years, right, from December 22nd, 2020, up until this time, there's still some portion of the court case that is yet to be determined. And Gary Gensler, on his way out, like, so spitefully decided, like, these guys, they leave power slamming the door angrily. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. Do you know how much investors lost because of that lawsuit? A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, the lawsuit is it's just it's fake," but it's fake. People say the shooting of Donald Trump was fake, but people died, people got injured. Can you imagine? So this is, sometimes you look at all this and you wonder, how do people think? But at the end of the day, look at what is happening. Donald Trump is coming to power. They missed the king. They tried to kill him. They couldn't take him out. And now XRP is going to be the king of cryptos. All of the years of pain, all of the years of suffering and waiting and hodling and holding. Some people even sold their XRP and walked away. Some sold it in loss, because there's people who bought XRP at $1 in 2021. So they sold in loss, but some have returned, seeing the green light even before Trump won. And today, what's happening? Whether we like it or not, I know there's a lot of talk about Bitcoin and all of that, but and Ethereum. Even today, we had that BlackRock bought 4,000 Ethereum or whatever. Listen, watch the money. What's really happening behind the scenes? What they are ignoring, what it appears they're ignoring, really is going to come into relevance. I don't go with what the news says anymore. I've learned. I'll share this one thing before I close this video. By the way, if you like what you are watching, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's see what do you think to what I've said. What are your thoughts, right? Let me hear from you. But one last thing that I think is important, and that is, I read a story in the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 16 to 28, okay? It's about the wisdom of Solomon and how the topic there is Solomon's wise judgment. 1 Kings 3, 16 to 28. There were two women who were prostitutes. They slept, they had their little babies about the same age, and infants. And somehow at night, one of them rolled over her baby, and maybe she was drunk, I don't know, and the baby died. The Bible says, and this woman's son died in the night because she lay on him. So she arose in the middle of the night and took my son from my side. Okay, so the other one's complaining to the king. It says, while your maidservant slept, I laid him in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I arose in the morning to nurse my son, there he was dead. But when I had examined him in the morning, indeed, he was not my son whom I had born. Then the other woman said, no, but the living one is my son and the dead one is your son. So there was a tug of war going on. Now, please follow me carefully to see where I'm going with this. Because when I look at what the left and the Democrats and the Republicans who support the left, because there's many Republicans who support the left. Okay? Now, when I look at what they're doing, I want to show you something here. The king had to ask for a sword. The Bible says he said, and the king said, the one, what did the king say? Then the king said, verse 24, bring me a sword. So they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, divide the living child in two and give half to one and half to the other. Then the woman whose son was living spoke to the king, for she yearned with compassion for her son. And she said, oh, my lord, give her the living child and by no means kill him. But the other said, let him be neither mine nor yours. Divide him. So the king answered and said, give the first woman the living child and by no means kill him. She is his mother. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had rendered. And they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to administer justice. How do you figure out whose child it is, right? Because they are infants, they've just been born. But the one who actually killed her child, she knew. And there was nobody, no witness. And the only way, remember they went before the king who had, he had, it was his jurisdiction, right? He was the judge, the final judge in the matter in those days. And so he was going to deliver judgment. And he said, well, you know what? Bring me a sword. Let's cut the child into two. The one who knew this was her son yearned. The Bible says her heart yearned. You know, when I look at the nation of America, when I look at Canada, when I look at the West today, and I see people who are ready, they want their nation to be destroyed. It reminds me of someone who hates, it's like someone, just to kind of figuratively speaking, a passenger on a plane who is wishing for that plane to crash because they hate the pilot. Have you ever seen such like, so you hate Trump so much that you want his administration to fail just to prove a point? You know, I'm telling you, it's crazy. And I think the left doesn't have as much support as they think. What they have is they have money and they have what's it called. And by the way, most of those money was coming from USAID and other government agencies. People are going to be shocked. The Lord had revealed to me how there will be major arrests in the United States. And it will set a tone for even Canada itself and many countries in the West and the rest of the world. I think all of this is happening for a season because God does not want anyone to perish, but is looking for a way to bring people in, because this is all, it's a prelude to a great revival that is coming. There are atheists now who are surrendering to God. Like, I didn't ever believe there was anything. But the attempt on Donald Trump's life opened my eyes. Look at what Mark Zuckerberg said, that when he was shot at. Look at what Elon Musk said. Like, everything they've done on the left. Look, if I were you and I'm on the left, if I were you and I was a black person who believes Donald Trump is racist, is everything evil and all of that, is worse than Hitler, he's going to gas people, he's going to put people in camp. You know what? Let's give him a chance. You have 4 years. Start preparing for the next 4 years. But look, what are they doing? They're busy crying. They're busy wailing. Some people are out in the streets wailing like demons. I'm telling you, the devil is busy working around. And I know people say, well, you know what? Don't take sides. This is not about taking sides. This is about bringing scripture, the word, to bear. Because if we can't see what's happening at this point, people are willing, like I said, for the plane to crash just to prove a point. Didn't I tell you? Well, listen, if the plane crashed and you were a passenger on the plane, you will crash with that plane and you will not be able to tell the story. So that's exactly what it is. So like that woman who did not care for the baby to be cut in half. There are people today who are in America. There are people today who are in Canada who's like, destroyed. We don't want Canada. We stole, Canada stole people's lands. America stole the land of the whatever, kill, destroy everything, burn it all down. Those are anarchists. Those are, what would I call them? People who care not, who are, they just want everything to be destroyed. Maybe find somewhere else. Maybe find another country where things are going to be exactly where there's chaos and you want everything. This is the devil running through people's mouths and saying all kinds of things. That's all I have to say. But I just want to, in all of it, I talked a lot about crypto on this channel. And when I look around, I see that indeed, XRP that was pushed aside, XRP that went through the courts, just like Donald Trump going through the courts, is now triumphing. They have a room. Ripple has a room a space at the table, a place at the table to discuss how crypto goes forward in the United States, which greatly impacts North America. Friends, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. Are there going to be difficulties ahead? I think so. I think so, because like, how do you pay off all this debt? They've begun. With DOGE, they've saved 69 billion, right? But you know what? That's the beginning, but and the left has become more like they're not giving up. They believe so much in the fact that Hitler is now running America. That Hitler has returned in Donald Trump, and he plans to kill everybody. He's going to deport black people. He's going to take women's rights away. Well, it's been almost a month. On the 20th, today is 14th. I don't see any women's rights taken away. I don't see any, like, it's just balderdash. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.